magnificent Millennium Stadium in Cardiff is the stage for a match between a rugby superpower and one of the rising nations as defending World Cup champions New Zealand take on Georgia. The roof is over. The pitch is in very good order given it hosted a game 24 hours ago, so conditions will be superb for this Pool C match in what is becoming a quite fascinating Rugby World Cup tournament. The All Blacks in familiar surroundings. They played at the stadium almost every year since it was built. Joel Stransky alongside me for this game, and Joel, the All Blacks have made it very clear that they want to lift their game as the playoffs loom, and it starts here with Georgia.
It does start right here this evening, and I like the fact that Steve Hansen has picked a particularly strong side. It would have been a game where some coaches may well have been tempted to rest some of the stars. Not Mr. Hansen, though. He's picked a very strong team. I would guess very close to 100% of the strength that he has in the squad to carry out there this evening, to build momentum as this team head on towards the knockout stages.
One or two niggling injuries have affected the All Black selection. Interesting call in the front row where Charlie Faumuina and Wyatt Crockett get the start, and what was flagged as a first choice starting 15, Dane Coles at hooker. In the engine room of the New Zealand pack, Sam Whitelock and Brodie Retallick reunited after Retallick sat out the match against Namibia last week. And it will be the same loose trio that started the 2011 Rugby World Cup final, Jerome Kaino, Kieran Read, and in his 145th Test match, the All Black captain, Richie McCaw. The fulcrum of the New Zealand game at 9 and 10, where Aaron Smith links up with Dan Carter, who was perfect with his goal kicking against the Pumas last time out. Ma'anonu not risked with a shoulder injury, so there's another start for a very sharp-looking Sonny Bill Williams, alongside Conrad Smith playing his 90th Test match. And for the first time at Rugby World Cup 2015, the All Blacks unleashed the startling talents of right winger Waisake Naholo, along with left wing Julian Savea and fullback Ben Smith. Well, Joel, it might surprise a few people, but the All Blacks have actually lost both times they've played a World Cup match at this great arena. They have named a very strong team for this one.
The team is looking very strong this evening. A couple of old hands, and interesting to see that Waisake Naholo selected. Obviously, a lot of talk about his fitness coming off a broken leg and the risk associated with being picked while still injured. Certainly a man we're looking forward to seeing this evening. Big, strong and powerful. He will be unleashed by this New Zealand pack of forwards who I've no doubt will deliver lots of good ball tonight.
New Zealand team out warming up in these excellent conditions. I have to say that you wouldn't think that there'd been a game played here. They really have done a wonderful job improving the pitch here. Georgia come to Cardiff with a win and a loss under their belt. They're a real shot at finishing third in the group and qualifying directly for the next tournament. They've got plenty of fans with them. They celebrated a win in Gloucester, beaten by Argentina. But, Joel, they're a team that are determined to prove that they belong amongst the traditional powers of the rugby game.
Well, you only had to see their result and the emotion that we saw on the faces of their players, in particular the captain, Mamuka Gorgodze, after Georgia beat Tonga in their opening game of the pool. Just brilliant stuff. They're a gutsy team, particularly in the tackle, very determined, and they'll have to be tonight when they take on this mighty All Black team.
Well, this starts a tough sequence for the Georgians, and by necessity, coach Milton Haig has made a number of changes. He starts the game with the front row that finished the Argentina clash, Chilachava and Asieshvili the props, Mamukashvili the hooker. In the second row, veterans Giorgi Chkhaidze and Levan Datunashvili playing their fourth and third World Cups respectively to take on one of the world's best combinations. Lasha Lomidze makes his World Cup debut at number 8, 50 Test veteran Shalva Sutiashvili at 6, and the great leader of this team, Mamuka Gorgodze, switches to 7 to mark Richie McCaw. Change at scrum half, Giorgi Begadze gets his first start of the tournament. Lasha Malaguradze will play his third straight game in the number 10 jersey. There's a big switch in midfield though. Giant winger Tomasz Michelidze switches from the wing to inside centre, a nod perhaps to the presence of Sonny Bill Williams, David Kacharava making his third start at 13. And a shuffle at the back, Giorgi Begadze switches flanks, Alexander Todua gets a start on the left wing, and fullback Becca Ciclaudi will get his first run-on role in a World Cup match. So not necessarily their first choice team, but still a very experienced side, Joel, and not a team to take a step back to anyone, no matter how excited they may be to be playing them.
Well, you can only imagine they all wanted to play against the mighty All Blacks, but with the opportunity to be a third place in the team and automatic qualifier for the next Rugby World Cup at stake, no doubt Milton Hague has picked a team just to protect one or two players. They will have to be careful tonight. They've conceded an average 12 penalties a game, but as I mentioned earlier, they have made enormous tackles, averaging 164 per game. They'll need to average that again tonight and maybe more.
Well, it's a great time to be in Wales. The Welsh team is winning. Rugby mad country. They've come in great numbers for the second leg of this weekend double. This match to be refereed by Frenchman Pascal Gauzier, who will have the toss in a moment. Just a shot there of Brad Thorne, former All Black champion, maybe a future rugby star there. Time to head down to the toss now. Frenchman Pascal Gauzier, referee for tonight's match.
It's your call. Stills.
Well, you can see there that Mamuka Gorgodze has won the toss, decided they'll kick off, and Richie McCaw, well, doesn't really matter which way they play. We can tell you for the record that they'll be playing left to right as we look at them in the first half. Well, here is one of the stars to look out for, Joel.
Wow, Waisake Naholo, 120 kilograms, fast on fleet of foot, great skill as well. Dan Carter, well, 100% kicking record. Only Dan Bigger and Owen Farrell have achieved that at the moment. That could easily change. Look out for this fella, TJ Perenara, covering the 10 position as well as number 9, with a couple of injuries around the backs for New Zealand. And this man, Charlie Faumuina, really putting up his hand to get up a full-time starting position in the All Black team. Well, Giorgi Chkhaidze, he's going to be under a little bit of pressure tonight in the second row, a bit shorter than his opposite number. Will have to compete at the lineup. You touched on this guy, Tony. Giorgi Begadze is going to have to be gutsy and courageous and defend those channels around the breakdown. Well, the goal kicking falls on the shoulders of Malaguradze, but boy, they're going to have a good task ahead of them, the halfbacks of this Georgian team, to keep the team in the game. Mamuka Gorgodze, the Toulon number 8, what a player he is. He's certainly put his hand up to play against the All Blacks tonight. A real champion.
The All Black captain Richie McCaw, whilst not unhappy with the team's performances so far, has called for a lift in accuracy and intensity as they eye the playoff stage. You'll know too that one of the great features of this tournament has been the determination of the emerging nations, rapidly improving nations. Georgia have already beaten a team ranked above them in Tonga. They're well fired up as they take on the All Blacks.
Hey buddy.
So the call has gone out to the players of New Zealand and Georgia. A first ever clash between these teams, and it is to be played in one of the great rugby arenas of the world, Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, awash with colour, fizzing with anticipation for another match in this fascinating Rugby World Cup. For the first time, rugby's iconic team, the All Blacks, take on the proud, passionate Lilos of Georgia. So two warriors face each other across the corridor. Richie McCaw for the All Blacks, Mamuka Gorgodze for Georgia.
3, 2, 1, thank you.
A wonderful ovation for these two teams in a stadium that has really filled up in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Very close to full here at the Millennium Stadium. The veteran Giorgi Chkhaidze in his 4th World Cup. And the teams line up for the pre-match preliminaries.
Tawera for the national anthem of Georgia. And first, New Zealand, supported by City Voices, Cardiff.
Well, now a moment that the Georgians have been waiting for ever since they learned their World Cup draw. For the first time, they'll stand and face the All Black haka. The players are ready. The crowd is more than ready. Kick-off moments away in Cardiff. Well, the Georgians go back into a huddle. Mixed reactions on the faces. Most of them, you'd have to think, pretty excited to be facing this for the first time.
They would have absolutely loved it. I think every single rugby player in the world, aside from the New Zealanders, just dream about standing up, fronting up and facing the haka. And when it's done like that by the All Blacks, in a triangle, in an arrow formation, you as the opposition, you have to be inspired by it. You have to be challenged properly by the haka. And just to look at the faces, the passion of the All Blacks would have inspired this Georgian team.
A quick recap of the teams. Richie McCaw captaining the All Black team. Interesting change in the front row. Faumuina and Crockett getting the starting role, and this is seen as their strongest available team at the moment. Georgia will be captained by Mamuka Gorgodze, first time ever facing the All Blacks, bringing back the veteran Giorgi Chkhaidze into their second row. Unfortunately, David Zirakashvili, their great prop, has had to go home, but you'll see in the reserves in number 18, Anton Pekrishvili, who has joined the team this week, and he'll get an opportunity to come on today. Tawera Kerr-Barlow and TJ Perenara both named in the All Black reserves. So it will be Georgia to kick off.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to count down to kick off.
Magnificent setting here. Here's our referee for tonight's game, Pascal Gauzier of France. Stadium is full. The crowd are counting down and ready to go. The All Blacks against the Lelos of Georgia. And it's Lasha Malaguradze who starts the match here in Cardiff, and Georgia's going to get the ball back from the restart from the start of the match, and Karlen Asieshvili, the loose head prophet, is who takes play. Mamukashvili now the hooker. Georgia are going to get first use of the ball. After some good work from the kickoff. David Kacharava, the centre, hitting it up. Now it's Sutiashvili.
He's a tackle!
The blindside flanker, but All Blacks counter-rucking, and they get it away now to Julian Savea. Strong run from Savea, looking to offload, but he's lost contact, so that's twice early on that the All Blacks have spilled the ball. Kick out to the wing and into touch. Just a couple of little errors early on from the All Blacks, but Georgia not able to make them pay.
Well, it was a great kick-off from Malaguradze, wasn't it?
Wait.
High and hanging and short enough to get underneath and win the ball back.
Quickly into the All Black line-out. And here is Waisake Naholo, the man who's come back from that broken leg, looking to make a big start. Oh, he's going to score! Waisake Naholo. The quickest try of this World Cup. Well, they haven't had to wait long for that. In the village of Nandrumai, in the Nadronga region of Fiji, where his friends and family are watching on, that's where he went to repair that fractured leg, and what a start to the Rugby World Cup for Waisake Naholo.
Well, New Zealand took the line out quickly, obviously, to get this man into the game. Naholo, too strong, too big, great pace and great strength, had a fair bit of work to do with the covering defenders coming across. Sikaluri couldn't make the tackle. First touch, 1 minute and 15 seconds in, he's on the board, and what a start, what a comeback for a man 6-7 weeks ago who was suffering from a properly broken leg.
Well, Dan Carter has a nice easy start to the match. New Zealand lead by 7-0. Well, he hasn't taken long, has he? Had to sit out the first two games, but Waisake Naholo, you can see why they were so keen to have him back in this team.
That's exactly why he was picked, because Michelezio couldn't make the tackle as he came around the corner. Little skip behind, too good, and the big man too strong.
McCaw coming forward to contest possession. It's actually been knocked through by one of the Georgians. And they give it away to Kieran Read. Carter looking to stab a kick out towards the winger, Julian Savea. They're looking to cause some havoc out wide, the All Blacks. It's been snapped up by David Kacharava. And Georgia have it just inside their own half. Mamukashvili, the hooker. Begadze. Now is Gorgodze, first touch of the game. Crunching into the tackle of Read. Now the kick through from Malaguradze. Ben Smith has it close to the touchline, and Dan Carter's tracked back well in support. spots a lot of open territory, and he's going to skid that one into touch. Dan Carter yet to miss a kick at this Rugby World Cup, and he loves playing in this stadium.
Well, I think he just loves playing the game. He always has that look on his face like he's thoroughly enjoying every moment. And looked up, saw a bit of space. Good kicking game from both ends, actually. Malaguradze with a good kick into space. Collected by Smith. Carter, as you said, tracking back and realised there was oodles of space on the far side.
Mamukashvili finds Chkhaidze.
Leave it!
Headgear. They're going to leave it for Begadze this time. Taken up by Lomidze, the number 8.
Hold 7!
And Begadze with the kick. Just a bit too deep and a bit too much room for Julian Savea to wind up. Finds Coles away to his left. Savea now McCaw onto Whitelock, running into a bit of space. Put on the ground by Sutiashvili. Aaron Smith clears it away. Ben Smith at first receiver. Naholo again. Trying to break through between two tackles. Has lost the ball in contact. It's turnover. Begadze almost broke through there. Nudged ahead by Chkhaidze, the fullback. And the referee says play on. And Georgia are going to score. What a moment for Chkhaidze. From the Lokomotiv Tbilisi club in the Georgian capital, Milton Hague, the coach, is delighted because Georgia have struck back.
And no doubt the kick will go over. They've drawn level, kicked out of the hands of Naholo. A little pick up, the attempt to offload, and immediately the Georgians trying to play quickly. Little grubber through, the bounce was kind. The only man tracing back was Retallick. And what a moment for Georgian rugby. If you think beating Tonga was big, look at the smile on the face of that man.
Continue with the conversion. Continue with the conversion.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, he showed great speed and the All Blacks simply had no cover. Malaguradze adds the extras. And what an astonishing start. New Zealand striking first, Georgia striking straight back.
A little clever flick on there as well, trying to get the ball out wide quickly. The bounce was kind, the reward just superb. I just can't say it enough. What a moment it is for Georgian rugby.
Kieran Read quickly up after the restart though, and he's batted it back to Whitelock. So straight away, the All Blacks look to come back. Gorgodze trying to manhandle Richie McCaw to the ground, but it's there for Smith. Carter moving onto it. Coles now quickly onto Read, ranging wide. They show him the touchline, and over it goes.
The line-out's going to New Zealand. Must have been knocked back into touch by a Georgian boot, I'd imagine.
Space, space.
So the Kiwis will be fired up now after that. They wouldn't want to have conceded a try that early.
Stay.
Or at all.
Stay.
Only the third try they've conceded all tournament.
Well, some people wondering about how beneficial this game will be. We'll talk about that in a moment because Sonny Bill Williams is on the board and he's running strongly, and Sutiashvili just manages to bring him to ground. Carter on to Conrad Smith. Now Ben Smith.
Play on.
Chopping back and taken in the tackle by Chkhaidze. Retallick quickly up on him though and throw him to the ground. Ball hacked away, scooped up by Carter. Switch of play, Whitelock. All Blacks probing inside the 22. Ben Smith quickly on to Conrad Smith. The Read to Savea. In. Try it is. Julian Savea has his third try of the tournament, and straight away the All Blacks regain the lead.
Yeah, good clever play. Very clever. Dan Carter initially realised that the gang tackle was on when the ball did come out to him. It was 3 or 4 men drawn in, freed it up on the inside, that little inside pass, and Conrad Smith, I think it was, called for it quickly down the blind side, realised 4 on 2, the strength is severe. Still had a fair bit to do. He's big, strong and powerful, and no match for the last defender. Boshed out the way, in the corner he goes.
Well, it was the fullback who moments ago was diving in glory between the uprights for a try, but he's just joined a rather long list, a growing list of players who have been bumped off by the bus. Julian Savea.
Well, This will be a little bit of a test. Dan Carter kicking at 100% to date. Far corner, far touchline, difficult angle for a left footer. Ideal conditions though.
Well, 7 out of 7 so far for Carter. Oh, he struck that very well, but it's just drifted away. Look for a moment like he'd be able to continue that 100% record. Not to be, but All Blacks already with their second try.
Yeah, Ben Smith calling for it. Conrad Smith with the quick hands, freeing up the big fella on the outside, and Savea just too strong for Tek Lowry.
So 9 minutes into the game, already we've seen 3 tries, 2 to New Zealand, 1 to Georgia.
Stay.
And it's the All Blacks leading by 12-7. Carter. Leaving a lot of exposed space at the back, and Savea leading the charge. Here's Ciclaudi. Driven back by a combination of Savea and Conrad Smith.
Use it!
Eventually Malaguradze has to go into clear. And Gorgodze has it. Captain put on the ground, picked up by Mamukashvili. He's driven back in the tackle by Retallick. He's losing a bit of ground. Chilachava
Use it!
thought about it, but left it for Begadze. And now Malaguradze with the long kick. Finds Savea. He's got Smith back with him. Carter away to his right, drops it off to Carter, who finds Savea. And he runs straight into Datunashvili. Penalty, good work over the breakdown by Gorgodze.
First man.
Well, picked at 7, maybe to compensate the skill of Richie McCaw. Gorgodze very quick to get hands on the ball there, and he's won the penalty. It was a little predictable, really, the way the All Blacks counter-attacked, looking for Savea, the big fella, to carry it up the middle. And well met by the Georgian defence. Gorgodze just holding his own body weight up, hands on ball, and the New Zealand rucking players not able to move the big fella out the way. It's going to be a shot at goal for Malaguradze.
Well, this is a kick of 48 metres for Lasha Malaguradze, and who plays his rugby in France. Not for one of the glamour clubs, but for lower division Bagnères at the foot of the Pyrenees. Chance to close the gap back up. You've got plenty on it. Plenty on it. That is over. Oh, what a great kick from Lasha Malaguradze. And New Zealand's lead is cut to 2.
That's a great kick. Struck it well, turned and headed back. Good contact.
Quickly restarted by New Zealand. Read knocking it down, but straight into the hands of Shalva Mamukashvili. And Begadze puts it high. Todua giving chase, coming forward. Naholo can't take it. McCaw's there, gets hands on it, and eventually it's Kieran Read who brings it under control for New Zealand. Ben Smith again in at first, receive it. Sensing an opportunity to spread the ball here. Floated pass away to Conrad Smith. Hit hard in the tackle by Chkhaidze. And the ball goes over the touchline. Oh, good work from the veteran.
7.
There he is, playing his 86th game for Georgia today.
7. When I blow your whistle, you stop to play. Thank you very much.
Doesn't look too happy, actually. Just gone to the sideline and had a word with one of the medical staff. Chkhaidze.
It's a super tackle though. Conrad Smith realised there was a big fella coming across, trying to make his way infield, but not able.
Space.
So Mamukashvili, who plays in England for the Sale Sharks, the English Premiership. Chkhaidze goes up, wins it. Begadze put on the ground by Richie McCaw. Mamukashvili moving it on. Carter up quickly on his opposite number, Malaguradze, and this could be a penalty. It is to the All Blacks.
Charlie Faumuina with the low body position, the hands on the ball and winning the penalty. It's a good little offload as well to Malaguradze, who had to carry it up into contact.
Ball clean out.
Well, Richie McCaw decides that New Zealand are going to put the ball deep. No shot at goal for Carter, and instead they'll have a line out. The flag's going to go up about 15 metres from the corner. Here's where it came.
Second time Pascal Gauzet's blown at the breakdown, both times blown quite quickly. Both times the defensive player quick to get hands on ball.
And New Zealand keep it going. Smith, flat pass away to Carter. Naholo was right on his shoulder, but couldn't take the pass.
And that's just a symptom of a little misunderstanding and the timing of the angles and of running. New Zealand getting it in the line out very quickly, trying to speed up play, trying to not allow the Georgian defensive line to be structured, and a couple of players running the line, Sonny Williams and Naholo, I think was more concerned about Sonny being in front of him than anything else. May well be what he was indicating to Dan Carter. Oh, handling errors, look at that.
We've had to wait almost 15 minutes for our first scrum of the game.
I know we don't always like to talk about stats, but right now New Zealand 100% stats on the scrums. Georgia only 82% success rate.
A little untidy. Lomidze has to take it off the back, wrapped up by McCaw, but it is there. For Begadze, just needs to find someone to kick for him. Weren't really organised behind the scrum. And now they're going to be penalised. I think under pressure, the big prop Karlen Asieshvili has gone in off his feet here. That's Sutiashvili, the number 6, but under pressure, they've been found guilty of sealing the ball up, and New Zealand going for the scrum.
Brodie Retallick was the man who was immovable this time round. Oh, it's a messy scrum, isn't it? New Zealand putting the pressure on, tidied up at the back by the number 8, Lomidze. No real clean out
push before the ball is coming. Just
Retallick, yeah, he's got his hands on the ball and no one moving him out the way.
I think the ball was there. There was just simply no one in position to kick. So now they find themselves defending a scrum.
It's fine. No, stay 9.
Smith puts it in. Read. Turning scrum. Away they go to the left where Carter is waiting. Quickly on to Sonny. Bill Williams floats it wide and Savea is in for a second. Julian Savea has a double already, his second of the tournament, and that was just a bit too easy for the All Blacks.
Well, it was made easy by the Georgian scrum off Giorgi Begadze, who didn't defend that blind side. He left a simple 4 and 3 on the outside. The skip pass was just sublime, perfectly timed, perfectly weighted, and just no defenders on the outside. Easy running for Savea. Well worked by New Zealand, and most importantly, wisely playing to the left-hand side, playing with the wheel of the scrum, making it a lot easier for the outside backs.
Well, Savea, his 34th try. He's played 37 test matches, 38 today, so his strike rate has been boosted in the last couple of games after a fairly barren year at test level. Brilliant form for the Hurricanes in Super Rugby. Gareth Davis of Wales as top scorer for the tournament so far, does Savea. Carter has another kick from wide out on the left. Again, just fading away to the right of the posts. Well, certainly plenty of entertainment early on here as we look at that All Black try again. Welcome in wherever you are around the world, but especially to the fans of New Zealand and Georgia. Kia ora tātou, Galmarjos. Thanks for joining us here at Millennium Stadium. Blacks this time tidy from the kickoff. Kieran Read is waiting for it, but they go beyond him to Carter. Well, they know they've got the measure of them out on that left-hand side of the field at the moment. It's Conrad Smith barreling into Asieshvili. They try to work him over the touchline, but it's there now for Aaron Smith to Carter. Short pass away from Retallick to a bullocking Wyatt Crockett. Up over halfway he goes. Carter looking very comfortable, although this time he's wrapped up. Blacks get another penalty. Just starting to mount up on the Georgians.
Well, we said discipline would be an issue, particularly against a team that are attacking as well as the All Blacks attack. Got to maintain discipline, stay on side, not give away those kicks at the breakdown. All it does, it allows the likes of Dan Carter to push you back into your 22, where you've got to carry on defending, and it just becomes harder and harder and harder. Great little offload, good timing of the run, but the handling skills of the All Black forwards really coming to the fore in the opening stages. Yeah.
Keep walking.
So Dane Coles will have the throw. Finds Read, and again the All Blacks look to move it quickly. The pass to McCaw, well, didn't find him at all. Hacked through by Lasha Lomidze, but the referee brings them back. There was actually a little knock on. A clash of bodies down the far end of the ground, where Chkhaidze had given chase and ended up in a tangle with Conrad Smith. But there's the number 8, Lasha Lomidze.
Very quick line out once again from the All Blacks. Ball coming down quickly indeed. There's the little hand in. Gorgodze with the fingers on the ball, which sent it in behind. Initially I thought it may well have been just the timing that was out because the line out was so quick. The little hand in there disrupted the All Blacks attack.
Crutch!
Well, the All Blacks, the conventional set up here, just one player on the right. That's Naholo. Ben Smith up on the line on the left. Naholo goes away to the right too. Little stab kick through from Aaron Smith. Cleaned up by Lomidze.
Stay.
It's there for Giorgi Begadze. It goes to Malaguradze. And well, Carter has an opportunity to throw this in quickly. He does. Naholo quickly on to Ben Smith. Big pass away to his left, and Conrad Smith. Sonny Williams now with room to move. The offload back to Conrad Smith. Another one to Ben Smith. And now big Charlie Faumuina rumbles into the 22. Away it goes to Carter. On to Read now. Unmarked players on the right. McCaw holds it up, and Dane Coles is in. And with 21 minutes gone, a bonus point already for the All Blacks. Fastest of the tournament so far, Dane Coles the scorer.
Made possible really by the silky skills of Richie McCaw. Moved inside. Well, let's start with Sonny Williams. So used to seeing him those offload in this manner. Learning is his centre partner, Conrad Smith. Faumuina carried it up, and look out for Richie McCaw, the inside-outside as he gets the ball over the top. Just draws the Georgian defence in, and as the back is turned, frees up Coles on the outside. And he made it look so easy. Look at that, Richie McCaw. The timing of the pass just perfect.
Not a bad ball either from Kieran Read.
No, not
Joel.
bad at all. Over the top.
Passing left to right.
Yeah, fair distance across the field. And Coles running a good line on the outside.
Well, he has scored some brilliant tries already in his career, Dane Coles. That one really due to some excellent work both sides of the field from his teammates.
Not really made it easy for Dan Carter this evening, have they? Third one from the corner.
1 from 3 so far. Back on the right side now for Carter. And he's hooked that one away. So the first one was right in front. The rest of them have been all out wide. Dane Coles try unconverted.
Well, Dan Coles was calling for it on the outside, realised there was a bit of space. That little inside-outside from Richie McCaw is what gave him the space to ground it. And And as we said, the ball over the top, just superb. But again, handling skills from the All Black forwards just really coming to the fore.
Jerome Kaino, this is his touch for him in the game. It's a good one too, because he sees off Chkhaidze. Aaron Smith will kick. Naholo giving chase. Coming forward, Siklaudi challenged in the air. And the referee says play on. Naholo's gone down. And slowly back, just hobbling a little bit. Now, Mamukashvili.
Stay on your feet.
Again, penalised for going off their feet at the breakdown.
Stay on your feet.
Not helping themselves at the moment, the Georgians. It's Karlen Asieshvili, the man who plays for Brive in France, who was penalised.
Every single time Dan Coles has kicked to the touchline, it's resulted in points, and this time from a tighter angle than before. He's kicked a brilliant kick.
In fact, it was Chilachava, the tight head prop.
Sealing off, was it?
Sealing off, yeah.
Looks the All Black line-out. The players come in quite late, but the ball goes in quite quickly. As soon as they're in, it's a very quick execution, which is stopping the opposition from contesting.
Aaron Smith joining at the front.
A little slower this time. Set move to come.
Well, it's smart play from Chkhaidze in the middle, just walking across the line out, just slowing things down a little. Whitelock comes forward, can't take it cleanly, falls into the hands of Smith. Carter looking to fend, put on the ground, out in front of the post. Charlie Faumuina driving forward. Back just a little slowly for Smith. And McCaw to dig it out. Read waiting away to his left, loses it in contact. And so the referee will bring them back for the scrum.
First is no call.
An attempt very quickly from Georgia to process that ball and not have to go to the scrum, I'd imagine. It's an area where they've been under a little bit of pressure on their own footing. Read carried it into contact. Good solid defence, two-man tackle, team tackle on Kieran Read, not able to hang on to the ball though, a bit disappointingly. And maybe a little break there as the Georgians set for what will have to be a mammoth scrum effort. Oh, a massive crowd are doing the Mexican wave. They were on their feet when Georgia scored in the opening minute or the second minute. Great response to New Zealand's very quick try.
Well, Joel, it's another huge crowd, and this tournament is going to break all records. The great thing is they're seeing a lot of positive rugby. The fans are having a fantastic time in these wonderful arenas. Great to be here in Cardiff, where rugby really does rule in this part of the world.
And traditionally we're quite used to seeing the red against the black. It's almost like a home game for the Welsh in some ways. Massive crowd. And I think what they're seeing now is the minnows of global rugby, the two-tier nations, putting up some real stern efforts against the more fancied opponents.
Well, some of those minnows have grown into sharks in this tournament, and that's the great thing.
Just ask South Africa. I know you wanted to bring it up.
I was struggling to remember which game it was, Joel. There you go.
There was another team in red and white.
That's a better scrum from Georgia. Front rows go up. Now it's getting a little messy, and the referee says we'll have another go. So initially it looked good for the Georgian team.
It's a big effort from their front row, isn't it? Asieshvili, Mamukashvili and Chilachava managing to give them a bit of real good go forward until it went up. And because it went up, they'll have the reset. Up before a turn was the call from Pascal Gauze. No work yet today for Sean Veldsman, our TMO from South Africa, and it's his birthday, so a big happy birthday to Sean Veldsman.
Well, I hope you bought him something, Noel.
He's going to buy me something for mentioning it.
Georgian hooker's having a birthday today too, Shalva Mamukashvili, and he'll be pleased with that outcome. There he is, birthday boy. Celebrating a scrum penalty, chance to relieve some pressure for Georgia.
And it'll be somewhat of a relief to them. In fact, it'll be a huge relief under pressure on their goal line. They've spent the last 10 minutes or so camped down there as a result of maybe some ill-discipline and Daniel Carter chasing them back. But here's a chance just to get some respite, some relief, and get their hands on the ball outside of their own danger zone.
Numbers, give me numbers.
Well, even when they win the ball, it's going to be a little messy at the back, and it's going to have to be tidied up by Lomidze.
So Mamukashvili with the throw, a bit of confusion. It wasn't straight.
Not straight. Line out to straight.
So the All Blacks will get a scrum. They just lost communication there.
Charlie Faumuina has made his way to the sideline. That's very skewed this time around.
I think he might have a problem with one of the studs in his boot, Charlie Faumuina.
So Mamukashvili, it's his birthday today. Once again, a happy birthday one. And I suppose as a prop forward, you all kind of battle unless your studs are properly tightened. I wonder if it hasn't gone through into the bottom of his sole. Is it just coming loose?
Got all the technical gear there. Joel Stransky played rugby with people who just used to rip their studs out with their teeth.
Yeah. We never wore studs, we just played barefoot.
Some of the early stats, New Zealand making very good ground from the carries that they've had, dominating the advantage line.
Put on the middle.
22-10 they lead. Coming up to half an hour here at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. First ever match between New Zealand and Georgia.
Just wait. Just watch.
Interested water boy. Martin Nonu just resting a slight shoulder niggle. Nothing too serious. As for the case of Colin Slade, Bowden Barrett, Liam Messam expected to be ready for the next game against Tonga in Newcastle as well.
Closer. Closer feet. Closer your feet.
I think New Zealand will be quite happy that the scrums moved a little closer to the touchline here. A lot of teams would prefer to have a bigger blind side to work into, but Naholo has been operating a lot as a runner or dummy runner into the midfield, freeing up space for Savea on the far side. May well just work for them.
So Aaron Smith pops it into the All Black scrum. And Wyatt goes to Carter. A little wrap around from Conrad Smith, but he's put on the ground by Chkhaidze. Quickly through the hands and just looking a little untidy there. Again, the All Blacks.
I wonder if it were Australia or South Africa that they were playing against right now, if they'd be chucking those passes. They may well be hanging on and being a little bit more conservative. Super tackle though. Stepped into David Chkhaidze and made the tackle. If that ball had gone, there was space on the outside, but Chkhaidze read it well, came in from the blind side, caught the more favoured Conrad Smith without having a view of him coming.
Man who plays his rugby in Russia, Chkhaidze. Just waiting here, Giorgi Begadze, the halfback, looks like he's taking a bit of a poke near the eye, but he's going to carry on.
Play on.
And Vasil Lomidze standing by on the touchline if he needs to come on, but the All Blacks have it. And again, not a great pass. Smith moves it on. It's Conrad to Ben. Three Smiths in the New Zealand backline, and it's the southern man, Ben Smith, who drives it up towards the 22. Carter now. Retallick in midfield. Pops a nice ball away to Sonny Bill Williamson. Faumuina is there in support. Takes it to the 22. Now the switch to the right and Ben Smith. On to Conrad Smith, stabbing it through. Coles getting after it, but the ball rolls into touch.
I think there's been a word or two said in the New Zealand backline about the fact that the Georgian defenders are up very flat. There's a little bit of space to kick into. It's the second or third time we've seen a kick of some sort into that space. Not coming off this time. The angle for Conrad Smith maybe slightly too acute, and beating Dane Coles into touch. Not a bad position though. They've stolen the last Georgian line-out. Georgia will be under enormous pressure again.
Well, they got the timing right, and big Giorgi Chkhaidze goes up. Now they've got to get rid of it. Danger of being shunted back over their own goal line here initially, and away with it comes this dynamic hooker, Mamukashvili, but he's taken into touch here. So the All Blacks are going to get a line out thrown. Charlie Faumuina is having some more problems with his boot. He's all right now. He's just sitting in the in goal. Coles again taking it quickly. Referee wasn't ready.
They don't have a gap, please.
Once again, the All Blacks trying to take that line out very quickly. Speed up play.
Stay in for the touches. Stay in for the touches. You move.
Sam Whitelock playing his 69th test today, behind only Ali Williams with 77, Ian Jones 79. I have to imagine he'll pass them at some stage in the next year or so. Whitelock takes it down. McCaw has it in the back.
Advantage.
Now it goes to ground, and the referee believes that Georgia has collapsed this deliberately. And here's the penalty. Taken quickly by Aaron Smith. Moves it on to Coles. Naholo trying to bump off at Siauri. And it's there for New Zealand. Faumuina backing in on the 5-metre mark. The forwards take it on a metre through Kaino. And, well, coming around offside there was Mamukashvili. They have to be careful. That close to the line.
Just wait. Here, come on. Tackle. Wait. Time off. Captain. I think make sure you rule away for the tackle. You stay long time, and after you rule. Discipline.
Mamuka Gorgodze knew exactly what was coming. The little warning, not rolling away. And you're quite right, on the goal line in the red zone. That yellow card may well be popping out at some point unless the Georgians are a little careful.
Well, once again, the All Blacks take the line-out option. They haven't really tried to drive yet. It's all been quick ball off the top, at the back.
Just the last one had a little bit of a go and got dragged down. Penalty advantage it would have been.
Whitelock leaves it for Read at the back. Aaron Smith moves on to it. Carter, quick hand spied it straight into the chest of Sonny Bill Williams. And now the All Blacks have to retreat. Ben Smith has it. Advantage is over. And off he goes. Trying to beat the first tackle. Well done from Malaguradze again. Great chasing from the Georgian fly half. Here's Wyatt Crockett, taken by Chkhaidze in the tackle. Chkhaidze was rolling the dice there. Released it in time. Naholo quickly on to Ben Smith. Oh, hit hard. It's that man Malaguradze again. Some real venom in that tackle, but New Zealand still have it. They're dropping the ball left, right and centre here, though, at the moment, the All Blacks. That time it was Kaino.
Big hit from that man there, Lasha Malaguradze. Again, just coming in a little from the outside inwards, catching the ball carrier unaware. Huge hit it was, the skip pass across, and he stepped in when he realised Ben Smith was going to get it. Crunching tackle. Boom. And from there came another mistake. We knew before the game that Georgia would be quite physical. They've come up, they've pressed in defence. The mistakes have come from the All Blacks, not the smooth continuity we were expecting.
Well, they're trying to move everything at the moment, Joel, but the accuracy that Richie McCaw was demanding before the game just isn't there.
No, not at all at the moment. A little out of sync, 9 handling errors. Maybe need to just settle it down, build a foundation. A lot of people talk about earning the right to go wide.
Georgians trying to drive the scrum, and eventually it comes clear for Begadze. He finds touch, not a bad kick either from Begadze playing his second Rugby World Cup.
A very clever little kick. The ball's again a bit messy out the back of the scrum. Not too much on the blind side, well covered by the All Black defence. And the grubber into touch, a very good one.
Now a throw over the back, although it's been lost by Begadze coming through, and so the All Blacks are going to get it anyway. Aaron Smith taken just inside the 22. And they'll come back. There was a knock on.
Massive leg drive from Levan Chilachava. Back of the line out. So it's again, it's trying to play quickly from Dane Coles on the All Black line out. This time not going to hand.
Well, Begadze is just trying to play with one eye open at the moment. Not sure that they can keep him out there.
Keep walking.
He's got to survive 3 minutes, so he'll have a 15-minute half-time break to try and get it cleaned and sorted. He's battling on gallantly.
Well, there have been times in the first half where the All Blacks have threatened to build a big lead, but their own mistakes and this dogged defence and harrying play of the Georgians has kept it to 22-10 with 2.5 minutes to play. To the short side, and Carter now holding it up and then turning it back in field. Aaron Smith now moving onto it and showing his tremendous speed. Smith the kick ahead. It's into touch on the full. Well, if that had stayed in play, anything could have happened. But another chance goes begging.
Got to love the little show and go, and Dan Carter with the inside ball. Look at this for a little show and go. The goose step. There goes the show and go. Through he went. And probably support maybe a yard or two behind and isolated. Had to maybe go for the tip over the top.
From Mamukashvili and rather falls into the hands of Gorgodze. Transfers to his supporting players.
It's a ball! 5 minutes! No, it's a Perenara.
Well, they've got it in the back, and it is Mamukashvili. Begadze gets things organised. Sutiashvili waiting for it. In fact, he's gone to Lomidze, the number 8. And a chance to counter-ruck here for the All Blacks. Yeah, they get the penalty. And Aaron Smith will take it quickly, looking for a try before half-time. But another handling error, this time just fired it straight into the ribs of Sonny Bill Williams.
I think he was looking to go behind Sonny Bill, and the timing just not right. The 10th handling error. You make 10 handling errors, you're bound to not have too much momentum.
Well, this is the hallmark of...
I'll tell you what caught him there is, as he was lining that pass up, he just had one last glance at the defence, and Sonny Bill came on the switch as opposed to running the dummy line in front.
Yeah.
Well, 10 handling errors. Asieshvili
You must stay bound and then push on the opponent to the props.
receive some attention.
Keep your bite. No, and you push on them.
Well, courageous effort.
Chilachava, beg your pardon.
Courageous effort so far from the men in red. They've been asked to make 56 tackles, completed 44. New Zealand have only had to make 29, missed none so far.
Keep your bite.
On the brink.
Subs go back to the bench.
Stay by.
Levan Chilachava, who plays for Toulon, who like him so much, they've asked him to play there for another 3 years.
Prestigious honour. It's one of the world's top clubs now, isn't it, Toulon? Great list of great players and championship wins, Heineken Cup wins, European wins.
So many of the Georgians ply their trade in France at various levels of the game.
Set.
Begadze domiciled in Georgia, and just having some trouble getting this ball out of the scrum. Well, here it comes now. Chilachava back in the action. Eventually able to pick it up. So time almost up in the first half here in Cardiff. And Georgia able to keep the score very respectable at the half-time break as the referee blows his whistle, and at half-time, the All Blacks leading 22 points to 10, but not their most impressive spell of rugby so far in this Rugby World Cup, Joel Stransky.
No, definitely summed up by the fact that they made 10 handling errors has certainly caused a huge interruption in their continuity. No real flow at the moment, mistakes costing them. They did get off to a flyer in the first minute with Naholo first touch scoring. Savea had 2 tries and Coles the fourth, the quickest bonus point of the competition so far. But take a bow, the Georgians, a try and a penalty and a conversion of their own, and certainly a gutsy first half.
So, half-time here in front of a very big crowd, perfect conditions at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. It's the defending World Cup holders, New Zealand, leading Georgia at the break by 22 points to 10. Well, it looked so promising for New Zealand from the outset when Waisake Naholo scored this brilliant opening try. The All Blacks came here, Joel Stransky, looking for a big step up in intensity and accuracy, big general improvement. Early signs might have been good, but the reality has been anything but.
Well, the first 22 minutes saw 4 tries. This was the first one, his first touch back after a broken leg. Not just the fact that he was big and strong, ran a good line, his timing was good, the fend was good, and then under the poles he went. Perfect start for the All Blacks.
The All Blacks in a mood to play attacking rugby, but the Georgians, well, we know that they are a side that will harry, they'll hassle, they'll use their strength, and they'll grab any opportunity they can. And what a moment for Giorgi Chkhaidze, the fullback, the man who plays for Lokomotiv Tbilisi in the Georgian capital. Just a little loose ball, hacked through, got a second boot to it. And no one home at the back for the All Blacks, and so that levelled the scores with just a flash of play. Great response.
Emotional response, wasn't it? Brilliant moment for the Georgians, in particular for that man, Uri. The smile on his face told the story. It was a good comeback though, and a good response from the All Blacks. Savea too strong for the same man on the outside, and it was just really some good slick handling. Good call from Smith, good call again from Conrad Smith. And Savea, you called him the bus. Too big, too strong and unstoppable.
Well, when they kept it simple, they were very good, the All Blacks, just at times. Just catching and passing and one-on-one. You're going to back Savea every day of the week, aren't you? Nice ball there from Sonny Bill Williams. Savea in for a second.
Well, we're used to seeing Sonny Bill throw those little offload passes more than the longer one. And what's most important here is he just summed up and read the play so well. In was stepping Uri again. It freed up Savea on the outside, and the ball, the pass, the skip was just timed perfectly.
Again, just good ball through the hands. Lovely pass from Kieran Read. McCaw changing the angle, freeing up space for Dane Coles. And at this stage, the All Blacks really were looking to break away from the Georgian side, but this was really their last say of the first half. After that, it became muddled, rather error-ridden, and the score unchanged, 22-10.
Well, you mentioned the 22 points to 10. It was after 22 minutes, no further scoring. Dan Carter missing his first couple of kicks of the tournament, and that was the 3 conversions. They weren't easy, mind you, all from the corners, 2 from the far corner, 1 from this corner, but a little disappointing from New Zealand come the end of the first half.
So half-time at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, and New Zealand lead by 22-10. That was the score after just 22 minutes of play. New Zealand with the quickest bonus point of the tournament, but since then, against a very dogged and determined Georgian side. They have made a welter of handling errors, 10 in all, Joel Stransky, and unable to build on that very good start.
Yeah, they've had the bulk of the ball. They've had a huge territorial advantage, but no real continuity. Started well, the 4 tries, the 1 breakaway against them. But after 22 minutes, it seemed like it might be a little bit of a runaway. The errors came, maybe pushing some passes they wouldn't have pushed in different circumstances, and no real continuity. A good chat amongst the backs there. That's where a lot of those mistakes have come. The timing not good. The passes are a little bit hard and not always going to hand.
Well, Milton Haig in the Georgian dressing room, I think he'd be pretty happy with the way his team has fought. Scored a try which would have thrilled their fans here in the stadium, back in Georgia, scattered around the world.
Side catching him unawares.
So the All Blacks will be first out onto the stadium surface here at the Millennium Stadium. And they will be looking for much better things in the second half, leading by 22-10, but not the performance that this man was demanding before the match.
Said before the game he wanted them to up the intensity, up the accuracy. It's been intense at times. They've tried to speed up play, have New Zealand, but at times the errors have just held them back. No real fluidity this evening so far. So they will have spoken about in the change room the accuracy required in the second half.
Georgia taking their time getting back out. Still in their dressing room. The All Blacks are waiting. But Mamuka has things to say before they come out.
And he'll be demanding the same physical approach. He'll be saying, let's rush them in defence, force the mistakes, get up, make the tackles. Don't allow the All Blacks time to play and express themselves.
Well, the try scorer and the birthday boy to lead them back out onto the field here as we await the second half of this Pool C match, Rugby World Cup 2015, between the All Blacks of New Zealand and the Lilos of Georgia. So Georgia return to the fray. They'll be happy with their work in the first half. They want to prove that they belong in high company on the Rugby World stage, and they've done that so far in this game.
Done it so well in the tournament. Knocked off Tonga in the opening game. Came a little unstuck against Argentina, but boy, the first half this evening we've seen some real guts and determination. A try, a penalty, and a real good solid performance from a Georgian team that have rested 1 or 2 of their regulars.
Rebecca Chkhaidze back at fullback awaits the second half. New Zealand leading at the break by 22 points to 10. It's Dan Carter to start the second half.
Red captain, black.
Second half starts in Cardiff, and once again Kieran Read getting to the ball but not able to take it cleanly.
Line out.
And so Georgia now have the option of a line out or a scrum.
Line out.
They've had their woes at both line out and scrum time. Perfect kickoff from Dan Carter. Up went Read. Felt maybe he was impeded a fraction, not able to hang on.
Just a suggestion of a nudge there from Levan Datunashvili, but he got away with it. So Mamukashvili with the throw. Overthrown it though. Coles has it for New Zealand, and the All Blacks will go on to the attack. Williams, wide it goes to Conrad Smith, just stepping.
Tackler!
Taking it almost to the 22. There for Aaron Smith. Carter moves it on. Retallick, short pass to Crockett. He's held up off the ground, but there it is for Aaron Smith. The switch to the left. Ben Smith now. A slice in between 2 defenders. Aaron Smith away to Faumuina. Now Ben Smith, Savea moves it on. Sonny Bill Williams taken close to the touchline. Ball still there for New Zealand. Savea crunching onto it, but Chilachava is there to make the tackle. Still New Zealand's possession though. Sam Whitelock waiting away to the right. They go beyond him to Carter. McCaw's short pass to Coles. Got the ball and the tackler at the same time. They clear it quickly though. Away it goes to Naholo. No, foot on the line. Foot on the line. No try.
Good last gasp defence on the far side. Todua maybe making that tackle, but certainly a much more clinical start from the All Blacks. Kept it a little simpler. The passing was good. The ball retention good. No mistakes this time round, except for that last pass. A little bit low, a little at the feet. It meant there was a slight loss of momentum. Naholo put the foot on the line, and out he is.
Hold!
Todua, it was who made the tackle. Lomidze wins it, and away comes Gorgodze. Good work from the skipper. Begadze has had that eye attended to in the first half, and a hurried kick away from Malaguradze. Referee though brings them back for a penalty.
Wise him up.
Offside, the All Blacks.
9 offside. 9 offside.
A little quick up was Aaron Smith. I'm not sure how that kick was gone away really. It looked like a wall of defenders must have gone between the hands and arms.
Here is young Vasil Lobjanidze. Well, this hasn't gone into touch. Inviting a counter-attack from the All Blacks. Savea from the pass from Ben Smith. Brushes up the first. Taken just inside the half. Aaron Smith away to Williams. To Conrad Smith. Quickly on to Read. He's running a lot wider today. Kieran Read.
Run form!
Scrambled away by Smith. Sonny Bill Williams with a step. Lomidze tried to hold him up. All Blacks able to recycle another loose pass. Savea goes back. Here's Coles. Can't get past Gorgodze.
Read it!
The All Blacks though have had to go all the way back to halfway, and another error as Charlie Faumuina trying to take the ball on the gain line. And here's Ciclaudi, the fullback.
I'm intentional corner.
Now Asieshvili.
No!
So Georgia in possession. Midway inside their own half, and they'll come back. There was actually a knock-on further downfield. And I think they're going to have to make that change.
Red 9.
Yep. Giorgi Begadze can't continue. And so the youngest man in Rugby World Cup history, Vasil Lobjanidze, comes on.
Braved it out. Did Begadze, got a finger in the eye. I think it in and around the eye, certainly. Probably about midway through the first half, and really gutsed it out to have lasted another 20 or 25 minutes.
Well, good applause for the Georgian halfback, scrum half, Begadze, from a crowd of 69,187 in the Millennium Stadium in a game not involving Wales. That is a fantastic number.
A Tier 2 nation, Georgia. And they're getting a great round of applause, aren't they? Getting some real good support from the Welsh fans who've come out as rugby lovers to watch this game.
Well, I guess they're dressed in red, aren't they?
Red. It is the traditional red against black.
Although they are wearing the George Cross, the St George Cross on their jersey, and that usually signifies something else in this part of the world. And boy, are they still dining out on that little result from last weekend, the Welsh.
Scrums 4 apiece. You consider the number of handling errors New Zealand have made. The fact that Georgia have tried to avoid the scrum as often as possible is a critical part of the game.
Patience.
You can't actually see the George Cross on the Georgian uniform, but you see it on the flags that the fans are waving around the ground.
Sit.
Well, here's Lobjanidze. It's a good scrum too. And coming away with it, Lomidze, although he's quickly wrapped up by McCaw. All Blacks trying to drive over it, get a penalty.
You play the ball off feet. Never you release the ball. 8. Play the ball off
Well,
feet.
they're getting that initial hit in, aren't they, Joel? But the All Blacks are coming back at them.
And as soon as it turns a little bit, it's not favouring them. They need to maybe, when they've got that hit and they've got that first step forward, clear it and get it away quicker. The All Blacks, tap and go.
Take the tap. Sonny Bill Williams straightening. Smith takes it back the other way to Carter, to Retallick. Faumuina. They bring it back the other way. Quick hands from McCaw, not accurate. Williams thrown to the ground by Apsiaudi, the right winger. Now Crockett losing the ball behind him. And, well, been claimed by Georgia, so yet another mistake. And Malaguradze swings it away. Mamukashvili, the hooker. Eventually an awkward pass goes back to the heroic Malaguradze. That kick's been partly checked and it's been taken nicely on the fingertips by Conrad Smith. Here's Ben Smith now, show of the ball, and into space he goes. But the pass to Dane Coles, again, cannot be claimed. And the All Blacks now over a dozen handling errors in this game. And now, I think that's Dan Carter who's taken one off the ball.
Super collection there from Conrad Smith. And Ben Smith with a little eye for the gap there. In he went. And usually not getting the pass going to hand. Where does Dan Carter get cluttered? Oh, almost innocuously. Not sure how he managed to get injured in that. It judged to have been a knock-on.
Carter doesn't look too good there. He's copped one in the back, not with any vicious intent from Gorgodze. Gorgodze just on his way to the ruck, might have just knocked the wind out of him.
Wait. Thanks. Wait. Sean?
I think he'll be all
Yes.
right.
Yes, Pascal?
That's fine for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's up. I think there'll be a lot of New Zealand fans as well as coach Steve Hansen. He'll be delighted to see Dan Carter up and about.
10.
Well, big
7.
Cortez Mikatadze.
Who's captain now? Captain.
And here's Dan Carter early on in the game.
Good low tackle, and this is might well be just a little bit of whiplash almost. Maybe feeling it in his neck or head more than anywhere else. Wasn't expecting it. I think the whistle may well have gone, which is probably why he relaxed.
Left.
So Gorgodze has made way.
Well, that's a bit of a blow if Gorgodze has had to leave the field. I mean, he's got some big games to come in this tournament. They play Namibia and Exeter on Wednesday.
Set.
Tactical substitution is the word.
Great scrum from Georgia.
Terrific scrum. Screws around, they get the penalty. And right now, things are going very well for Georgia and not very well for the All Blacks.
Just brilliant. We spoke about the hit and the continued forward movement. No real spin this time. Good right shoulder up from the tight head prop, Chilachava. And the momentum kept New Zealand eventually disintegrating and Georgia getting the penalty. Pressure going forward this time from Chilachava and the whole Georgian pack, and Richie McCaw quite possibly detached and offside.
Well, certainly the arrival of Mikatadze has added some bulk to this Georgian
Don't jump
pack.
before. Jump to catch a ball.
Crowd really starting to get in behind Georgia now too. McCaw goes up to contest the line out. It's taken down by Lomidze. Might have some difficulty freeing this here.
7, keep the ball.
Blacks have got hands on this. And only get a turnover.
Ball from red, scrum black.
Sam Whitelock, I think it was, with hands on ball, an assist by Richie McCaw. Little upright were Georgia, which allowed Whitelock to get through there and get his hands on the ball.
Joel, we mentioned before that this Georgian team, not their first strength team. They are certainly saving 1 or 2 players for the remaining games in their quest to finish in 3rd place and gain automatic qualification to the next tournament. But this is the most experienced side they've ever put on the field, and it's showing.
It is showing, and I think the opportunity for some of the players who may not be in that starting 15, as we might term it, at present, certainly inspiring them to greatness at the moment.
You can see there Chkhaidze taking down in the back of the scrum. Front rows go down, and this time the All Blacks get a penalty. And Read takes it quickly. They really want to get things moving here. Sonny Bill Williams takes it into contact. And Aaron Smith kicks, and he kicks deep. And Todua having to scamper back. Sits up nicely for the little left winger though. And he puts the kick downfield. Georgia, it's Chilachava down in back play. Now Sonny Bill Williams sinks his boot into it. But beautifully read by Siklaudi. And he puts it into touch. Well, Chilachava is in big trouble, I think, on the far side of the field. Slamming his fist into the ground in frustration as Mikel Nariashvili prepares to come on. They're going to make a double substitution in the front row. Now Savea trying to bust his way through. Julian Savea. Away it goes to Smith. Naholo. But he's put into touch again.
Oh, it's great defence. Great gutsy last line defence from Georgia. Savea did well to hang on here. Realised the pass wasn't on the outside. Bust the first tackle. Timed the pass to perfection. Naholo with a one-on-one must have thought he had a good chance. Courageous, brave tackle from Siklaudi, and then a bit of support coming across to help him.
Well, they've gone for some more heavy artillery. Nariashvili and Pekrashvili. That's Nariashvili there. And the other man, Anton Pekrashvili, he's only come into the squad as a replacement for David Zirakashvili, their top prop, and this is a sad sight. Levan Chilachava.
He's having a good game with Chilachava. The last scrum was a mammoth effort, and to me it looked like he's pulled a calf, maybe a torn calf muscle. He was trying to stretch it out, not happy at all, but to be limping off like that, it must be quite serious.
Now Georgia will have a throw close to their line. Retallick going up to contest.
Dummy jump.
Well, free kick goes to New Zealand. Now what are they going to do? Aaron Smith just awaits the instructions from his captain, and he says tap and go. Kaino taken just 3 metres out from the line. Faumuina. Well, the Georgians trying to defend their line, but this time to no avail. And Kieran Read goes over for the first try of the second half. Fifth try of the game for the All Blacks. It's been a while coming. Nearly 30 minutes since the last one. But Read, that close, Joel. Very hard to stop.
Yeah, almost impossible to stop. Most importantly, though, Aaron Smith from the tap penalty picked the right runner. Jerome Kaino managed to be the player in space, got a little bit of forward momentum, got the All Blacks on the front foot. The pick and go from Read from that close, almost impossible to stop at that speed, playing quickly. No chance for the defence to get structured and organised, and a very good try.
Malakai Fekitoa set to come on, and that's the end of the World Cup debut of Waisake Naholo. Got up to such a brilliant start with that early try, but he hasn't had much rugby at all, and so 50 minutes, 52 minutes, his lot today. Jerome Kaino taking down the restart. Now Read, the try scorer, running hard. Oh, brilliant offload away to McCaw. And the All Black captain steams down over halfway. Lomidze eventually manages to stop him, but they're lined up away to the right. Fekitoa moving it on to Faumuina. Bit of a swinging arm going in there from Takrashvili. Now Retallick in the middle of the field. Carter on quickly to Ben Smith. Little show and go. Good clean out too from the All Blacks, just looking to get things into the gear that they were looking for at the start of the game. Conrad Smith quickly on to Williams, unloads. Now Savea close to the touchline and over.
Initially, I thought he'd done well to stay in field, but lost little driving momentum from the Georgian defence, pushing him out.
Well, a lot of injuries going on. Sonia McLaughlin has news on the sideline.
Yes, and we saw the pained expression on the face of the tight-head prop, Levan Chilachava, as he came off. He's got a calf injury. He's had the cling film wrapped around that. That helps with the swelling. He's had a heroic performance, hasn't he, in the front row today, and it's not surprising that they've taken some injuries, given just how heroic they've had to work in defence against the All Blacks.
The All Blacks have an injury at the moment. It is Sonny Bill Williams receiving some attention, but looks okay. And Lomidze, who's been outstanding so far today for Georgia, the number 8, pulling it down. Held up almost single-handedly here by Charlie Faumuina. The All Blacks counter-rucking here. Georgia really going nowhere with this. Eventually it comes. And Lobjanidze comes away with the clearing kick. Savea waiting for it, and a chance for the All Blacks to take it quickly. Ben Smith looked away to his right and then saw space right ahead of him down the middle of the park. There for Aaron Smith. Carter bats it on. Pulled down nicely by Fekitoa, who has to use all his considerable strength to hold the ball up while the cavalry arrives. Now Carter drops it off to Ben Smith. Offloads. Faumuina carrying the ball effectively today. And now the referee blows a penalty against Jerome Kaino. Illegal clean out in the side of the ruck, and a very promising move. Breaks down again.
Good little carry from Ben Smith into the real heart of the traffic. The big fellas, he offloaded to Faumuina, and it's in from the side is Jerome Kaino. That's why the penalty. Carter. Well, the whistle had gone already. No. Little mistakes just at vital times, costing the continuity for the All Blacks, and every chance they get, the Georgians will catch a bit of a breath now as they start to run out of steam in the last 20-25 minutes. Lomidze, you said it, he's been just enormous tonight.
Well, there's Lasha Lomidze. Dan Carter, who's taken a couple of fairly decent blows, and there's still some concern about Sonny Bill Williams too. And that was Chkhaidze who caught him that time. They've been lining him up, haven't they?
Yeah, and rushing in from the outside, which makes it so difficult to see the defender coming.
Sonny Bill Williams leaving the field here. And interesting change coming up. It looks like Victor Vito is going to come on for the All Blacks. There he is. And so he will go presumably to the wing. Fekitoa will play in the centres as Sonny Bill Williams heads down the tunnel. Loose ball down the back of the line out, claimed by New Zealand, so Georgia can't capitalise on the penalty. Now Fekitoa with the kick. Vito it is, chasing down on the right wing. Cloudy kicks deep. And now Ben Smith, well, heads off initially towards Victor Vito. Now it's Savea, the offload, and away it goes. And here is Victor Vito, who's played on the wing before in sevens rugby. Ben Smith now, chance to get some width on it. Read, lengthened stride as he goes to the defensive line. Aaron Smith, away to Carter. Conrad Smith now, Fekitoa running strongly. Malakai Fekitoa, the nice little basketball pass, but it is not collected by Victor Vito. will have a scrum. Before that, more injury news from the sideline, Sonia.
Well, Sonny Bill Williams has gone back into the All Blacks dressing room. He's being checked for possible concussion. They call it an HIA, a head injury assessment, and he now has to go through the 10-minute protocol to check whether or not he can come back onto the pitch. Remember that the All Blacks are already without Ma'unonu, who's got a slight hamstring strain, so Steve Hansen will be concerned if he was to lose another centre.
He's already got one forward playing in the back line, Victor Vito, although, as I say, he was a stunning sevens player and wreaked havoc when he played out wide, so he knows how to run the flanks.
You can imagine a man of his size and strength with that pace and that skill set. It's very difficult to defend against. So Sonny Bill maybe just having that concussion test. Might see if he comes back. Victor Vito will be loving his opportunity to be on the field, though.
So Lomidze puts it into a disintegrating scrum, but penalty to Georgia. New Zealand ruled to have collapsed, and the old firm ready to return. Tony Woodcock and Owen Franks. Malaguradze puts it into touch. He's been full of courage today, this man.
He's got up and made a few huge tackles, hasn't he? He's rushed up, he's taken the line up with him. It's been a real sign of strength from Georgia this evening, the way they've closed the space and not allowed the All Blacks time on the ball.
There'll be a double change in the front row for New Zealand too in a moment, but Georgia have the ball and they give it to big Chkhaidze, but in the tackle of McCaw, he loses possession. Conrad Smith drops it onto the boot. Snapped up though by Sutiashvili. And Lomidze kicks. Ben Smith having to go back. Chkhaidze giving chase. Ben Smith, oh, he's lost it. Well, here's a great chance for Georgia and more wonderful work from Chkhaidze, the fullback. And the crowd roaring their support now of the underdog.
Only the second visit into the 22 of New Zealand for Georgia. The first one resulted in a try. Well, this one, great chase from Beckett to Kalari. Got across. I don't see Ben Smith making too many mistakes. Lost it in his effort to regather and get the All Blacks going forward again.
Well, now McCaw's down.
I went for you.
He was clobbered in the last movement. Walking just a little gingerly. Well, the All Blacks about to make a whole bunch of changes. You can see Sam Kane is up now too, so may well be that Richie McCaw is headed to the sideline.
One black, three black.
That's where it happened, and
1-3, yeah.
he was hit hard there as he attempted to tackle big Chkhaidze.
Quite upright in the tackle was Richie McCaw. I wonder if the fresh legs won't bring a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of patience in the New Zealand attack.
Thank you for your help. Thank you very much.
McCaw looking a little banged up. Nothing new in that as he leaves the field. Here come the three replacements. Big applause for Richie McCaw, who will be hoping to be back here in a couple of weeks' time for the quarterfinal.
Well, there's no doubt he'll be back here. Whether he'll be fit or not, looking at that, I'd imagine it's more precautionary than anything else.
Looks like Sonny Bill Williams has passed the concussion check.
Strong feet, close your feet.
Well, Georgia did a very good job of containing Argentina. It was really only when Gorgodze was sent to the sin bin that the Argentinians were able to break the game open. But with 19 minutes to play, this Georgian team is turning up a gallant performance. 19 points behind. And it goes from Lomidze under pressure though at scrum time.
Maybe a bit set on the move as opposed to getting that first basic scrum element right. Coming unstuck a little.
And now another 10 metres. Carter takes it quickly, fires it wide to Fekitoa. Conrad Smith now just holding it up, and who makes the tackle but Malaguradze. Made 100 of them today, just about. Carter, Retallick leaving the ball behind. Carter has to tidy it up. More sloppy play from the All Blacks. Ben Smith, and now monstered by Chkhaidze. Although he does well, good strength to keep driving ahead. Smith puts it high. Vito giving chase and contesting too, losing the ball in the air. And again, Begadze, brave in the air. Well, there's a worrying sign for the All Blacks, an ice pack on both the shin and the quadricep of Richie McCaw.
I reckon it'll be the quadricep that is the bruising that's maybe taken him off the field. Upright in that last tackle where he maybe took the bump. Sonny Ball makes his way back on. Conrad Smith is going to be the man who heads on off and is substituted. I think that little kick from Aaron Smith at the back of the last ruck was quite significant. It was almost a sign of respect for the Georgian defence. A little bit of saying, right, we're not going to play from this deep. We're going to kick it back down there and just get out of the danger zone here for a while.
Well, the Georgians have earned the respect of not just the opposition today, but of the rugby world.
Shoulder. It's fine. Crunch!
They were excited, thrilled to be playing the All Blacks. Didn't mean they were just going out there to make up the numbers. They have contested superbly, although the scrum is coming under constant pressure.
Side serve, scrum again.
You can see there the little halfback, Lomidze,
It must be straight, boss. Straight.
who, when he came on at Kingsholm, became the youngest player to play in a Rugby World Cup match. There was actually a younger player than him involved in the 1987 tournament. Tonga had a 17-year-old, Talia Uli Liava'a, but he never got on the field. So you could argue that the Tongan player was the youngest man to go to the World Cup. But this man actually got on the field, and he is a very good young scrum half.
Fine. Set.
Again, the shot comes in from the All Blacks. And Aaron Smith quickly around on Chkhaidze. And look at Lomidze, the young man fighting his way forward. Coming away with Naholo. Vastly experienced prop. Lomidze pops it up to Lomidze. Retallick going and fighting for the turnover, and
Red form, hand on the ruck.
well, no, referee said the ruck had formed. The penalty goes against the All Blacks, and they're starting to get that look on their face again.
That little pull my hair out look, I think, Steve Hansen showing almost a look of disgust there. Well, he'll know exactly why it's not gone according to plan this evening, but he'll be bitterly disappointed that it hasn't gone according to plan, and that is just a super kick.
Well, this man has had a stunning game. Here's where the penalty came.
Number 2.
Referee ruling that a ruck had formed, so it was hands off, but the kick from Lasha Malaguradze has taken play right into the corner. The birthday boy leaves the field, and so too does the left winger. Alexander Todua is off, so too hooker Shalva Mamukashvili. And here's his replacement, Simon Mazaradze, a man who's been playing lower division club rugby in France for the last 10 years. Well, what chance? A crack at the line from a driving maul. A little untidy. And Kieran Read, I think, wrapped his hands around this. The crowd urging Georgia to the line, but I think the All Blacks have got this wrapped up. And it will be a turnover. Frustration for Georgia, frustration for a growing section of the crowd.
Yeah, a little untidy at line-out time though, and New Zealand very quick to get hands on the ball. Kieran Read maybe. Sam Whitelock in the heart of things.
Five block. Space, please. Space? Good. Space. No, nothing.
Little look of frustration on the New Zealand players as well. It's not gone according to plan this evening. The mistakes have just mounted against them. 16 handling errors in one evening. Only 8 offloads for a team that are accustomed to making a whole host of offloads. Disappointing evening so far. They've got 13 minutes or so to turn it around.
Well, they wanted accuracy. What they've come up with is sloppy. 16 handling errors. Clocked up 10 turnovers. About half the offloads they usually succeed within a game.
72% possession, which in itself, when you have more ball, you make, I suppose, the odd mistake more, but not 16. It's very uncharacteristic.
Free kick taken quickly by Kieran Read, who's now the All Black captain. Williams taking it up, and Aaron Smith sends a kick down towards halfway. Georgia making a change in the loose forwards, and Lomidze, who's been very good, comes off, and on comes Vito, Victor Kolelishvili, a man who had a wild man reputation early on in his career, often seen as a card, red or yellow, waiting to happen, seems to have calmed himself down in recent times, so he comes on for this man who's been one of the best of the Georgian players.
Certainly a standout. Been physical, been hard. He's made his fair share of tackles. 10 he's made this evening, and one game, good stats.
Malaguradze with the throw. Datunashvili wins the line out. Driving ahead. Oh, this is great play from Mikatadze. Takes it all the way to the 22. Georgia with a real head of steam up here. Malaguradze slams into Franks. It's there for Lobsanidze. Numbers away to the left, but oh no, Mikatadze is not worried about them. He wants to take it into contact. Malaguradze slips it away to Chkhaidze. There again for Georgia. Well, this is turning into a wonderful performance from the Lilos. Here's Mikatadze again. Ball on the ground. Well, Vito ran up out of the line, and the attempted offload from Chkhaidze went forward. All Blacks have hacked it away downfield. And advantage over is Tamas Michelidze, who's playing back on the wing now. Solid contact in the tackle. That was Franks he ran into.
Use the ball.
Georgia enjoying prolonged period with the ball now. Hooked back onto the far side by Malaguradze, who senses that maybe Victor Vito not quite at home in that wing position. Ben Smith with the clearance. And it's Vasi Lobsanidze with the kick into the corner. Now he's overcooked it.
Little sense and sensibility from New Zealand, clearing, using the kick. They chose to play from their own goal line a number of times, and Ben Smith, maybe with a little bit of a hint of cramp there. It's been 115 carries for the All Blacks, a whole lot of meters run. It's only been the errors that have cost them.
Kieran Read wins the line out. Williams carts it forward and then drops it off to Kane. Ball on the ground. And having to rip it away, Kaino. No, they were offside. And they're going to lose a fair bit of ground here, Georgia. Malaguradze has gone down holding his head. He's not happy.
Dan Carter comes forward. He's going to put this into touch. Well, New Zealand needing late tries to get a scoreline, anything like what people were predicting before this game. And that is not going to help at all. Well, this is turning into a pretty awful performance from the All Blacks.
Aaron Smith thought about kicking it into touch very quickly. I think he might be thinking he should have as the changes come again.
Yes, Dane Coles, Aaron Smith leaving the field. When Coles went over for that bonus point try, it looked like the All Blacks were going to coast. It has not been the case. 22 points in the first 22 minutes, or 21.
I wait too.
Only 7 since.
Crutch.
It'll be 22 points in the first 22 minutes.
Crutch.
Was off to a flyer.
Fine.
Not much since just the Read try after 52 minutes. Other than that, a very poor second half for the All Blacks.
But the only thing that has gone right for the All Blacks in the second half has been their scrum. Keven Mealamu playing his 128th test. And this time, ironic applause from the crowd as the kick sails into touch where it should for the line out.
Agree?
And again, it's the slow walk to the line out. Mealamu gets hands on the ball. Will it be a quick throw in, or will it be a structured line out and a more quick throw? And stolen.
Oh, stolen by Chkhaidze, the 33-year-old in his 86th test match, having a whale of a game. Lomidze with the kick. Vito waits for it, takes it. But great chase from the Georgians. No chance for a quick throw by the All Blacks.
And a great kick as well under enormous pressure. It's got it out right where it came down.
They've tried to play the game at pace, sometimes just too fast. Here's Vito. And he winds up for a run. And it's a good tackle made by Chkhaidze, who's a tackle machine in midfield. And now, well, just running out of room. Julian Savea put over the touchline. That just shouldn't happen.
You maintain.
You're dead right. Should have been coming infield. The ball came out to him awfully close to the touchline. Reacted a little bit slow. Up to where he was across very quickly. And the little nick on the touchline probably really epitomizes the All Black afternoon. Laden with errors and not going according to plan.
Malaguradze with the throw. Read, who's probably been New Zealand's best player, gets up and takes it down. Now Kane runs into a hole. Sam Kane offloads it away. Kerr-Barlow, Sonny Bill Williams, Fekitoa frees it up. Ben Smith. Again, desperate cover defence. Karlen Asieshvili got across. Whitelock now bends the first, spins out of the second. It's there for Kerr-Barlow. Carter onto Kaino, to Fekitoa now. Big pass out wide, and this time Savea is in for his third. Well, it's been a long time coming, but finally the All Blacks get their 6th try.
Good pulled up this time. It was the fresh legs of Sam Kane that made the real penetration early that got New Zealand on the front foot. Took a couple of longer, slicker passes to make it all eventually happen. Couple of real good, strong ball carries, and eventually on the outside, just defence running out there. Fekitoa read it well, though, didn't he? Came from behind, outfoxed, outsmarted the rush defence from outside in, and Savea had a bit of space on the outside. Well worked by the All Blacks.
So 3 tries today for Julian Savea. 35 now in Test rugby. This is 38th Test. So that's a great rate of scoring. Here's Carter. only managed 2 kicks successfully so far today. That one looks better. Just slowed it all down a bit then, Dan Carter, and that's his best kick of the day. Just the hint of a smile on a day where there hasn't been a huge amount to smile about for the All Blacks. Yes, for Naholo getting his first try in a World Cup. Yes, for Savea a hat-trick. But the big smiles at the end of the day surely are going to be with Georgia. Begadze comes on, and David, in fact it's Chkhaidze who leaves the field for the Georgians. So 5 minutes to play. And the All Blacks blow the score open in the final minutes. Keven Mealamu running freely with the ball. Great bend from the veteran hooker. He's got Kerr-Barlow with him. Franks ranging up in support. Now Vito. All Blacks looking to finish strongly. Carter on to Kane. Another big pass. Oh, it's picked up by Malaguradze, but then it's dropped by Chkhaidze, who hasn't done a lot wrong today, this fellow. This time couldn't take the pass when things were looking inviting in front of him.
Looked inviting for both sides. Good run again this time. Sam Kane once again with the good strong run. Keven Mealamu with the wise old head looking for runners. Through the dummy, held it up for as long as possible. Made some real good space. Kerr-Barlow needed someone on the outside. But the desperation defence from Georgia once again getting back, covering that space. And when that ball didn't need to go over the top, it was a fraction short. The little jump and give and go. He's had a great game. Malaguradze read it well, got up there quickly, and won the ball back and almost created an intercept try scoring opportunity.
There's David Chkhaidze, who plays for Krasnoyarsk in Russia. Very lucrative job that is. Now Carter has it on to Fekitoa, spots a gap. Malakai Fekitoa, he's going to go all the way. Brilliant try. And the All Blacks are finishing strongly. Into the 40s now.
Hint of a little bit of space, needed no second invite did Fekitoa. Ran a good line, got in behind. Just the angle, the smooth, silky running, too much for the last defender. Slipping tackles now are the Georgians, and he's just too big, too strong, miles too much pace. And it is flattering the scoreboard somewhat in favour of the All Blacks.
Carter with the conversion.
Real determined run, got in behind and took Lauri with no real option. Too many players in and around space, inside space, outside, support players all over the show. He didn't need them.
So into the last 2 minutes, and well, the referee says play on as Retallick hits the ground and Carter clobbered again. And Georgia get it back. Loose passing, but it's scooped up by Chkhaidze. No, referee says come back. There was a knock on by Georgia. Man of the match is actually sitting on the bench now. Mamuka Gorgodze has been named man of the match. Been another terrific performance from him. Joel Stransky had his way. Lasha Malaguradze, a man who...
Well, I thought for me there were 3 Georgians who really put their hands up. Malaguradze was one of them, Gorgodze was one, and Lasha Lomidze, the number 8, could well have also been the man of the match. But that man there has been talismanic in this team. He may have picked up a little injury, but he's a crowd pleaser, crowd favourite, and thoroughly deserves the award.
Well, he might be one of the toughest men in world rugby, but he's got a smile that could melt an iceberg. And there we see it again. Fekitoa making the strong run and then losing the ball in midfield. And that, I'm afraid, sums up the day for New Zealand. They're going to win it comfortably. But not an impressive performance. Too many mistakes. 25 turnovers in total, be the handling errors, mistakes at set piece or at the breakdown. And their coaches will not be happy. They won't be happy themselves. But not the improvement that their captain asked for. And Sam Cane.
It's the round the throat grab that he's been penalised for.
Got to be careful with that.
So last moment of the game, the Georgians have had a little huddle. They want to finish this game on a massive high. They've scored one try, a real chance for a second now.
Well, they get it. And they'll just about blast the roof off the Millennium Stadium. Oh, been stolen away by the All Blacks though, and Victor Vito has it.
No, release! Release!
Now, a bit of leniency shown by the referee there. You could see the Georgia player with hands around the ball. And now they're going to try and just work it out. Now the kick and a touch. Boos around the ground. The game is over. 43-10 the final score. The All Blacks get the win, but it will be Georgia who get the plaudits, especially their wonderful captain, the man of the match, Mamuka Gorgodze. Unimpressive from the All Blacks, gallant from Georgia. It does mean that New Zealand are guaranteed a place in the quarterfinals with one match to play in pool play. But they'll be looking for an improvement on this, Joel Stransky.
Absolutely. 2 tries in the last 7 minutes. Just inflating that scoreboard and not really altogether fair on the effort that Georgia have put in this afternoon or this evening. A huge commitment. Great bit of play. They were competitive ball in hand. They defended like Trojans, strong in the scrum. And New Zealand will look back on this game and look at all the errors they've made, the turnover balls, the handling mistakes, the lack of fluidity, and, well, the lack of accuracy that man, Richie McCaw, had asked for during the week. Non-existent this evening for the tournament favourites.
Yes, McCaw, who spent the latter part of the game on the bench with heavy ice packs on his quadricep and shin. Just far too many mistakes. The All Blacks turning over possession over 25 times. But let's give some credit to these guys, Georgia, and particularly this man here, Ciclaudi, scored the try that levelled the scores early on. They tackled their hearts out. They harried and harassed the All Blacks. And only the score blowing out in the last 10 minutes of the game. Oh, what a day to remember for the Georgians. Let's hear from Richie McCaw, the All Black captain, who's with Sonia.
Well, Richie, first of all, New Zealand fans will want to know, is their captain okay because you hobbled off?
Yeah, just a few bruises, so nothing but an ice won't fix, so no, it's all right.
The stats, Richie, for handling errors will make uncomfortable reading. Why was it so hit and miss?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I actually think it was probably trying too hard at times. You know, we created a lot of opportunities in the first half, and it was, you know, trying to finish it without actually, just taking another phase or taking a tackle and taking the space that was on. So I guess we'll look at it like I must say we created a lot of opportunities, and we're only a pass away. So I don't think we need to panic too much, but certainly we have to make that get those things better.
You are the best in the world, favourites for the Rugby World Cup. Why haven't we quite seen that form overall from New Zealand so far?
The timing I run, I hope. Look, I think well, you can't underestimate a Georgian team like this. You know, they come out and they hoe in, and you know, you don't quite get it 100% right. You end up just dropping those final passes, and I think that's perhaps where we're at, but we're not going to panic because we've got another win, and we've got 7 days to fix some things we've got when we play Tonga, and then it's all on. So we're certainly not panicking, but we realise we need to be better, and if it was an easy answer, I think we'd do it straight away.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yes, the New Zealand captain trying to take the philosophical approach and give a bit of credit to the opposition, who are now being saluted by this crowd, the Georgians. Another outstanding performance today from the Georgian captain, Mamuka Gorgodze. And here he is now with Sonia McLaughlin.
Mamuka, you didn't quite get the result, but is it still a very proud day for Georgian rugby?
Yes, I think it's a dream for all the rugbymen to play against New Zealand, and we do our maximum, and we are proud today. We lost a lot, but we are proud. We do our maximum.
There was a big smile and a huge ovation when you were also named man of the match. How special was that?
I think it's a dream for all the rugbymen to be the man of the first play against New Zealand, and second to be man of the match against the New Zealand.
Many congratulations, Mamuka.
Thank you very much.
Well, he is one of the most popular players in the game, Mamuka Gorgodze, rated one of the best players at the last World Cup, already won 2 Man of the Match awards at this tournament. And he said it was a thrill to play against the All Blacks, an even bigger thrill to play so well, and at times, as we look at the score, at times making New Zealand look pretty average. Still 43 points to 10 final score. Hat-trick to Savea, Naholo, Coles, Read and Fekitoa, the other tries. Cloudy for the Georgians. Some of these stats are not going to make very good looking for the All Blacks, but let's hear now from the Georgian coach, who's now standing by, Milton Haig with Sonia.
Milton, you made the best side in the world look human at times. How proud are you today?
Well, it's been a big occasion for all of us all week. Obviously, to play the #1 side in the world and the defending champions at a stadium like this, just absolutely awesome. And you know, hopefully we've won a few more fans, Georgian rugby fans tonight.
When Tisclari scored Georgia's first ever try for New Zealand, huge smile from him. What were your emotions?
We were just stoked, you know what I mean? It got us off to a decent start, and you know, they'd scored points pretty quickly, and then we replied, so we were pretty happy. But you know, as it is, it's an 80-minute game. I know that's a cliche, but you know, we just had to try and defend a little bit longer. But you know, once the All Blacks got the ball wide on us, you know, it was difficult to defend.
You're a New Zealander. Briefly, do you think New Zealand are still favourites for the Rugby World Cup?
Oh, absolutely. You know, so you know, and I'm looking forward to them taking that cup home. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wry smile. He was probably not going to say anything else. Great ovation for these players as they leave the field. Joel Stransky, tremendous performance, and the All Blacks have a lot to think about.
Well, they deserve the ovation, Georgia. You know, you're only allowed to play sometimes as well as the opposition allow you, and Georgia certainly shut down the space of the All Blacks. I thought they were a little impatient at times. They tried to go wide very early. The Georgians stepped in, took the space, and the errors just cost them dramatically. A couple of smiles there, as was pointed out by Richie McCaw. 43 points to 10, still a good test match rugby win, but fraught with errors, fraught with mistakes, and there'll be huge disappointment in this camp that they've not been as accurate as they would have wished to be.
Well, what does Steve Hansen make of it? The All Black coach is with Sonia.
Well, Steve, you got the result. How would you assess the performance, though, from the All Blacks?
It wasn't one of our better ones, but you know, it's given us plenty to go home and think about, and we got a lot of work to do. But at the same time, you know, we still scored some nice tries, and you know, we weren't that too far away. So we just get the little bits in our game right, we'll be fine.
The emotion after Namibia was frustration. Are you a little worried that that's the same emotion again?
Oh, look, we can't afford to allow ourselves to be frustrated. I mean, we're still winning the game. We're still getting game on the park, and you know, we'll go up to Newcastle. We'll play Tonga, and then you know, we should have a quarter final by that stage. So it's something really positive to look forward to.
When Waisake Naholo got that very first try for the All Blacks, was that an illustration of exactly why you wanted him in this squad?
Yeah, well, he's pretty special, and you know, it was a lovely try, wasn't it? So we'll take that one, and you know, I think at the same time we scored it pretty easy, so it might have just allowed everyone to back off a bit. But they found out that Georgia's full of intent, and I thought Georgia played well. You know, they gave it everything they had, and they'll be proud of themselves.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Well, let's just have a look and see what it's done to the table. The All Blacks clear out in front, and they are not going to be denied top of the pool, although still plenty of games to come. Argentina coming up against Tonga this weekend. Georgia with 4 points, and they've still got games to play. Let's now hear from the man of the match. Time to hear from him again. Mamuka Gorgodze, not for the first time in this tournament, has been named man of the match, and here he is with Sonia McLaughlin.
Mamuka, a fantastic day for Georgian rugby to play New Zealand for the very first time here at the Millennium Stadium. How proud a day has it been for you to also win man of the match as well?
I tend to repeat the same, what I said 2 minutes ago. I'm very proud to play with Georgian team against New Zealand and to be man of the match.
We've got a lovely award for you here from Alistair. Many congratulations, Mamuka Gorgodze, man of the match. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, he's building up a nice little collection of those, Mamuka Gorgodze. Goes off to great applause from the crowd after his team's effort in holding New Zealand to 43-10. Well, smiles out on the field, Joel Stransky. I'm not sure that there'll be too many smiles as they analyse this performance. They know they can be a whole lot better than this, but they are still not producing the form that everyone knows they're capable of as those quarterfinals, the knockout phase, starts to draw closer.
Yeah, and you can't help thinking that when they get in the big games against the big teams in the knockout environment, they might have a slightly different approach. They might be a little more conservative at times. They'll carry it up. They'll be more patient in attack. They'll try further the right to go wide as opposed to going wide quite quickly as they did this evening. It almost looked in some ways that they came out with an attitude that it was maybe a bit of a practice session at times. They tried to throw the early passes, did the All Blacks, didn't really come off. They tightened it up shortly after half-time, and Kieran Read drove over after 52 minutes. It was the only real good move from the All Blacks up until the 74th minute of the second half. Savea went in for his third of the game, and shortly after it was Fekitoa, and the two late tries really just inflated the scoreboard. Didn't really do justice to the efforts of this courageous Georgian team.
Well, the All Blacks started with a brilliant solo try, and here's Malakai Fekitoa with his try, just blowing the score out towards the end, but not the quality of performance that the All Blacks were looking for. They wanted to be better, they wanted to be more accurate, they wanted to be more intense, and they really weren't any of those things. But again, we say you have got to give so much credit to Georgia, defiant in defeat, a team that is growing in stature, growing in popularity.
And asked to make a whole number of tackles. Only made 104, 107 tonight. Their average so far in the tournament has been 164. Tonga, against Tonga, they made 201, against Arja 127, and that may well be indicative of the fact that the All Blacks never got going, and the continuity not good enough to force that huge number of tackles that Georgia have made.
They certainly had some moments, but they were few and far between. A few bumps and bruises and a bit of soul searching ahead for the defending World Cup holders. So coming up over the weekend, and what a weekend it's going to be. So much at stake. Samoa, Japan, that's a huge one in Pool B. So too South Africa against Scotland. That will define the group. And then the one that everyone is waiting for on Saturday night, England against Australia. You've got to pick, Joel Stransky?
Oh, it's hard to pick against Australia at the moment. I think England, for me, don't offer enough to beat the Aussies.
Well, if England don't win it, they're out of their own tournament.
They'll certainly be urgent. There'll be a real sense of desperation.
Argentina, Tonga on Sunday in Pool C. And that wraps up what should be a fascinating weekend that has started with this Friday night game at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. The All Blacks out signing autographs for their fans. They'll go back with the victory, but as we say, the praise around the rugby world will be for this team. The Lelos, the team that take their name from an ancient game that was played before rugby was even thought of. Seven tries for the All Blacks, 1 to Georgia, and in the end a 43 points to 10 victory for the All Blacks over Georgia. On behalf of Joel Stransky, Sonia McLaughlin, Tony Johnson, bidding you farewell from the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff.